Acting?
Acting.
Hi, I'm Alicia.
And I'm Tiana.
We're two working actors. We happen to be women.
We happen to be Black. Sometimes that matters.
And sometimes it doesn't. Either way,
we're here to talk about all things acting, from personal experiences
to the industry itself, and of course our love of the craft.
So join us as we chat with each other, as well as the occasional acting friend, as we talk about all things
acting. Hello.
Hey. How's everyone doing?
Wednesday, I think today is. I don't know.
Yeah, today's Wednesday.
Yeah. Cool. It's doing, girl. How have you been doing?
No, not good. But you know what though? You know what? This is the second nice day we've had as far as weather is concerned.
Yeah.
So yeah, life's okay. Life's okay, you know?
It's okay, right? Yeah. I was thinking the other night when I walked out of work, I was like, finally, I can walk out of these doors and instead of bitter cold, it is just comfortable. It just feels nice, you know? So that's been pleasant.
Yes. Definitely windows down vibe.
Spring is here.
Yeah.
It's nice.
Well, what have you been doing lately?
A lot. I've been keeping myself busy. As you know, I did the film festival last weekend, and then a couple weeks ago, I actually had two in-person auditions because like we were kind of texting about this earlier, but like you know how you mentioned like locking in and just like locking into to this is how I've been feeling about just like everything in my life. I mean, I feel like I say that every week, but it's like, you know, I'm just continuing to take those steps. So I say that to say I had two auditions a couple weeks ago in person, and then I also submitted a tape for a musical, and that was also an interesting. And that was like the first time I'd ever submitted anything for a musical, and that was really interesting. So,
what do they ask for self-tapes for musicals? Like, what do they want you to put on film?
So they want to see you singing. And this is one of the reasons why it's taken me so long to audition for musicals, is because like that's just so intimidating. Because I'm like, how do you pick the song? Is it supposed to be a song from the musical, or do they just want any song? Because sometimes it's vague. Like it really depends on the posting from what I've seen. And then they say like, oh, submit 16 to 32 bars of a song. I didn't know what that meant. I had no clue. So I was like, okay, that's starting at ground zero. So I had to look that up, obviously, figured it out. It's like 30 seconds to a minute of a song. It was for Grease, so I did end up picking a song from Grease, but it wasn't for the character that I was auditioning for. And it was definitely an interesting process. Because to sing like a musical, like you have to like really belt, and that's like really hard on your voice if you don't train those muscles. So I had to practice for like 2 days in order to create a excuse me, a tape that I really liked.
So, did you, okay, hold on, I had two questions for that. I can't remember now. Okay. Oh, what is the theater that you did that for? Is that in Philly? Or is it
No,
near
so this
like
one was
closer
one
to you?
in Jersey. Yeah, this was actually one of the
Okay.
Jersey ones. And it's a really nice theater too. It's a little bit nicer than my local theater, in terms of like their size and like their production call value, I guess. I don't know. Um, so it was my first time auditioning for them, and I didn't get a call back, which is fine. But it was a YouTube link, and I got to see how many people watched it, and I got 4 views, and I said, okay, all right, so a few people, it made the rounds, you know.
No, honestly. Yeah.
Yeah. Have you ever auditioned for a musical? I know you do like a lot of plays. You've
No,
talked about it all the time. No.
I am not auditioning for a musical.
Never? You don't ever want to do
I'm,
it?
well, I won't say never, but I'm
Okay.
not. No, no,
No.
thank you. I'm okay.
Yeah.
It's not my thing.
Yeah.
So,
It's
I mean,
it's just different. Yeah.
it is a different, yeah, it's different. And even you talking about, like being able to use your voice properly. There have been times when I've had a performance for the night, just a straight play, and I wasn't even in it for the whole play. But
Mm-hmm.
the morning after, I woken up with like half of my voice gone. So it's like even just projecting and using my voice.
Really?
Yeah, like there have been times when, because you're just talking
Right.
more than I normally would, like in every, especially if it's like tech week or something. So
Mm-hmm.
the idea that I would then have to really understand how to properly care for my voice being in a
Mm-hmm.
musical, that would be a part of the work, you know, on top of memorizing the lines and everything. Like you would need to be taking care of I don't, it's not for me at this moment.
No, that's
But
so
that's
valid. I mean,
like
even like, yeah.
musicals are like that. It's so amazing how much work those actors specifically put in for stuff like that.
Hmm.
And so it's amazing. But no, I'm
Right.
okay.
Yeah, no, that's fair. That's, I mean, because it is like it's like something like I genuinely didn't realize until I was practicing for the self tape is like, oh, I have to actually take care of this. Like I have to because the first night that I like after I found the audition and I decided I was going to submit for it, I found the song that I wanted to do, and I came home and immediately started practicing it. And I want to say practiced for like maybe an hour, hour and a half, and by the end of it, my voice was gone, and I was like, whoa, that's
Yeah.
crazy. I didn't even so it's not something that I ever even considered, even though like obviously logically, like like the voice is a muscle and you have to take care of it, practice, whatever. But it's just like I didn't realize how quick it would happen and how like you literally have to keep going. So it made me also realize like I do need to take like, singing lessons. It's something that I floated in my mind, but like it's like no, I like actually need to commit to singing lessons if I do want to do musicals. And right now, I mean, I kind of do, if only for the fact that like they're the most common in my area. And they're my local theater houses, like they're all doing musicals. Like we just don't have a lot of plays. And then two, it's just a good skill to have, I think.
It's a great skill to have because even
Yeah.
most of the theaters, most of the time, I feel like are doing musicals. You
Hmm.
may have one or two shows out of the season that are just straight plays. But most of the time, I feel like it's musicals. So I feel like
Hmm.
that would open up a lot of opportunity for you if you decide to continue, you know, going out for stuff like that.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. So we'll see. I mean, I actually know a couple people. Haley has singing
I
lessons. I know Lex. Yep. Yep.
I was
And
literally thinking that of Haley.
yeah, yeah. So I could do it with her, but she's also busy. And then I also have a friend, his boyfriend is a producer who also does singing lessons. And I did reach out to him and talk to him about it a little bit. So I mean, it's just use the network, but we'll see. So
Mhm.
that was the one audition that I had. And then I had the other two, they were both in-person auditions. And that was, I figured I wanted to touch on those a little bit because we've talked about in-person auditions before, but these were two very interesting auditions. So
Okay.
the first one was for a play, and I texted you about this one. And
Hmm.
it was a play, it is a play based on the Rwandan genocide. So one, the character had to have an African accent. Okay. Two, when I got there, they
Okay.
didn't send me the sides. I never was sent the
Oh,
sides.
this is the one. Okay.
Yeah, I just so it's funny. She messaged me on Thursday on through backstage and she's like, "Hey, we want you to come in and audition for this, read for this." And I said, "Okay, cool, bet I can be there." Gave me the time slot, sent me the address, and she said, "Just let me know if you can be there." Great, answered her. Girl never answered the message, or she never opened the message. So I show up on Saturday at my time, and she looked at me very confused, like, "Who are you again?" As we're standing there speaking, she's going and opening the message and says, like, "Oh, you did respond. Yeah, I do see that here. Well, I was able to send the sides out yesterday. So here you have 5 minutes to read this while I audition this other person who's ahead of you, and then I'll call you in." So I literally had 5 minutes to read a page and a half, or no, half a page long monologue plus a page and a half long scene to stand up there and do in front of this woman for this play. And I really in that moment, it's something that like can happen, but it's not as frequent as it used to be. So I really had to use like the tools that like we've talked about in class and just like through research and talking to other actors of like going through the monologue and picking out like the key details and like finding like the heightened moments of emotion that I wanted to touch on while I was standing up there. And then in the moment of doing the audition, it was really interesting. I started with the monologue, and at first I was just like, because like I had 5 minutes, I didn't know what I was reading, and I had to do it in an African accent. So I'm standing there like trying to read this monologue, and I felt like nervous and fidgety, and I had to like kind of stop myself and take a breath and be like, "Hey, you're here to do a job. Like this is your time. Take your time. She's here to watch you. Do it." And I felt like I did a good job by the end of it. I felt connected to the character in the short amount of time I had to spend with her.
Mhm.
Um, I didn't get a call back for that one either, but it was definitely just like an interesting experience to like have such a cold audition like that,
Mhm.
something that does not happen frequently, especially like that, you know?
Mhm. Yeah. Yeah. That was a true cold read.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah, it was.
yeah.
It was different. Have you ever had an in-person audition like that where like they gave you the sides the day of?
I think I had a callback like that. Cause see, most of the
Mm.
stuff, I think actually all of the plays that I auditioned for are like I know them. So if they don't send me sides, I go out and find the play somewhere online or in the
Mm.
library.
Yeah.
I'm at
Yeah.
least able to read it. I still don't end up like memorizing stuff, but I think there was a callback that it was a Shakespeare play, but it was being adapted. So there were several or no, it wasn't Shakespeare. It was a Greek tragedy play, but
Oh,
someone had
interesting.
adapted it. And so it was like their edits and stuff like that. So I
Hmm.
found a version and I got the gist of the characters, but when I showed up to the callback, they had the actual sides printed out for all of us. And that happened to be an ensemble callback. So there weren't like monologues, but it was a lot of like quick pacing. So that was
Okay.
interesting. But for that, they had, I want to say like three groups of ensembles that like let's say we showed up at 1:30, the other crew came in at 2. So we had
Hmm.
like 10, 15 minutes with each other, and it was maybe
Hmm.
6, 7 of us or something like that, and run through it before we all went in together. But that was a callback, so it was a little bit different. But yeah, that's but see, also still with that though, they weren't expecting us to have it memorized. They just wanted to see how we interacted with people and other people
Yeah.
that could potentially be tested. And I think that
Yeah.
most of my experiences with cold reads have been to see what your chemistry is with other
Hmm.
people. That's most of the time. I feel like that's what they're like after.
Hmm.
So that's crazy though that you didn't get the,
Girl, what an
but
experience it was.
yeah,
But
yeah,
I like how you said that, like to your point of like, yeah, I think a lot of it's like because they know you're not going to be word perfect. They don't really care about the words. There's there to see your energy, and they really just want to see how you show up and if you can show up in a way that they think aligns with the character. Um, so yeah, that was interesting. And then the
hmm,
other audition I had was literally the next
hmm,
day, and this one was
mm,
different because it was for a murder mystery troupe. And so what they do is they get together and they go to dinner parties and like
hmm,
events and stuff. And like they have like an outline of a script, but a lot of it is crowd work. So you're relying on like the people in the audience to feed you stuff. So it's partially scripted, partially improv. And as you all should know by now, I really want to do improv. So I went out for the audition. Spoiler alert, didn't get it, but it was such an interesting experience because again this was in person and kind of similar to that experience that you had. It was ensemble, so they had a group of us auditioning together for the characters that we chose to audition for. Like they sent us the
hmm,
sides ahead of time and everything.
yep,
And this is where it got me fucked up because I was coming from work and
uh-huh,
I was late leaving work. I was like 20 minutes late leaving work. So I was supposed to leave at
mm,
5. I didn't leave until 5:20. It was 20 minutes into the city. My audition was at 5:40. So me, I'm freaking the fuck
mm,
out. How am I going
hmm,
to get there in time? And I think that threw off my energy
hmm,
from that moment to going into the audition. I bombed it. Mind you, I had been practicing
really,
all day at work. I had the
hmm,
lines, I had memorized them. I got up in front and I didn't remember anything. And he had me go first. Out of the group of 4 people, he pointed to me and said, "You can go first." And I said, "Okay." Now, realistically, I probably should have just opened my mouth and been like, "Actually, can I go last or something?" I just like needed a moment and it would have been fine. But I
Hmm.
rolled with it. Um, think I forgot the lines about halfway through, just completely started
Hmm.
making I had the essence of the story, so I knew what to say, but I was just
Hmm.
making stuff. It wasn't written. I was
Hmm.
just changing the words.
Hmm.
My energy was so off. I was not I I did the scene fine, but I didn't do it how I had wanted to do it. So I finished that. They had everybody go read for their character, and then they had us do improv. So they paired us up,
Hmm.
and they gave us a scene. And when I tell you, the improv, I mean, it was fine. Like we got through it. I luckily the other girl, like she was pretty decent, so like we got through it. But the people that went
Hmm.
after us, seeing how much stronger their connection and their performance was, I said, "Oh, that's what they're looking for." And whereas like me and the girl that I was with, we were only up there for like 2 minutes. They kept these people going for like 5, 6 minutes. I was just like keeping the scene going because of how good and strong and connected they were. And I was like, "Oh, okay, so that's what they're looking for." And then at the end of it, he's like, "Okay, so we're going to send everybody an email. And even if you didn't get it, we're going to let you know. It's either going to be a, hey, better luck next time," makes direct eye contact with me. Better luck next time, looks at the rest of the group, or we'll let you know, like, to come to the callbacks tomorrow night. Suffice to say, I didn't get an email. Suffice to say, I don't think I got it. But it was an experience, and it also just kind of reinforced, like, oh, okay, if I want to do improv, it would help to have formal training.
That's interesting because you know what? I feel like with stuff like that, because I auditioned for something in a similar vein,
Mm-hmm.
and it was a little more scripted, but it was like a murder mystery immersive type of thing where they it was going to be in like some type of hall where people were actually eating. It was a dinner, and
Oh,
there were going
okay.
to be moments where the audience like gave input, stuff like that. But for the most part, it was a scripted show. But I knew halfway through the callback that I was not going
Mm-hmm.
to get it because there was a certain energy and a lightness about the actors in my group that I could tell that it was like a panel of people that they were gravitating to. And I
Mm-hmm.
remember it was something this one woman said, and it pissed me off, and it still kind of pisses me off to this day. She was like, yeah, it was kind of the same thing, like, yeah, we'll be in touch and we'll let you know who's gonna get it either way. We'll send out an email. Got that email as I was pulling into my parking spot that I did not get it. But she's like, yeah, and some of you, there's a lot of great theaters out there. And I was just like, and I could just tell that she was talking to me. But in that
Mm-hmm.
moment, I realized that there was some type of energy that I think I wasn't going quite as light enough as I think that
Mm,
they almost wanted goofy. They almost wanted caricature. And that's not what I was giving in the moment. And I realized that like towards the end that
yeah.
I at the time, because that was one of the like first auditions I had up here.
Mhm.
And at the time, I feel like I was prepping heavy for like drama and like really
Okay.
intense stuff. Like I
Yeah.
wanted to do solely Shakespeare at that point. But it's that experience reminded me of that though, because I'm like, I knew I wasn't gonna get that. And it sucks
Yeah.
to know in that moment and have to sit there and still be professional. And you could just tell you're like, these two over here, I I know they're gonna get it. And it kind of sucks. You gotta eat
Legitimately.
it up. You just gotta, okay.
Exactly. That's just like a part of it. It's just like you just nod, grin and bear it. Like literally
Yeah.
grin and bear it. And it's funny because they're one of the women, the last woman who went actually, ironically enough. So I was first and she was last. And when I tell you she blew it out of the water, Tiana, I
Mhm.
mean like this woman, and she even forgot a line, but the way she forgot her line was so professional because she
Mhm.
didn't break character. She stayed in it as long as possible, like as long as like
Mhm.
socially acceptable to have a pause go on. And then the guy,
Mhm.
like he's going to hand her a script and she's like, "No, just feed it to me." And he tells her what it is. It jogs her and she
Hmm.
was right back in the moment. And I was like,
Hmm.
that is a professional woman. I don't know what she's
Yeah.
done in her past, but like I could just like see like she is comfortable on stage
Hmm.
doing this kind of work. And like, and it was so honestly
Yeah.
genuinely inspiring of like, okay, well, that's what I'm working towards, you know, like having that.
I was just about to say, like, maybe then, like, you almost have to redirect your thoughts to be like, okay, well, so now instead of an audition, I'm in class, and this is something that
Mm-hmm.
I need to learn from someone that has clearly mastered it so that I
Mm-hmm.
can reference it in future auditions, like how quick, the turnaround is
Yeah,
with like forgetting, and especially in a setting like that, like, it's such a improv based environment that you can mess up, but it's like it's about how you recover because they're gonna find it
exactly.
entertaining anyway. So,
Exactly.
yeah.
Exactly. And even like when I walked in, the guy, he said, like, you don't have to be word perfect, which also,
Mhm.
if they ever say that, it's a trap. Know the lines. If they sent you the script, try to know the lines as best as possible. If they sent you a script like in a reasonable amount of time prior to the audition. Because like we had it for, I want to say I applied like 2 weeks before the actual audition date. So I did have plenty of
Mhm.
time to get off book. I just procrastinate. I am who I am. Um, but it's so to that point, she forgot her line and she said stop, calm, cool, and collected. I was forgetting lines, and yes, I kept going in the scene, but
Mhm.
my energy was so frantic in the
Mhm.
way I kept going, like it
Mhm.
just felt very disjointed and discombobulated. It just wasn't on the same
Yeah.
level, you know.
Yeah. No, I know exactly what you mean. It's funny you say that though, because me and Taylor are going to an audition in 2 weeks, and
Yes.
they sent us sides a few days ago, but it's like 20 pages, and it's an ensemble play. But I
Okay.
literally was just texting her earlier. She was like, "Are you going to be off book for this?" I'm like, "It's 20 pages." No, granted, it's not. And also, I don't know if I haven't quite decided if it's easier or if it's harder to have several characters that all speak one line, one after the other, versus having just one lengthy monologue. I haven't decided how I feel about that yet, but that's how it is. It's like one line after the other. So you got to know when your line is coming. And
Oh,
I'm like,
yeah, you kind of
I
have
don't,
to know at least what's being said.
right.
Yeah.
Yes, I think that's the point. I don't know that I'll be completely off book
Yeah.
in 2 weeks, but we shall see.
To be fair, that's very long. What they sent me was like a page, like maybe a page and a
Oh,
half, like
okay.
20. Yeah, like
Yeah.
it wasn't like super long. I was able to learn it. I think I had gotten off pretty much off book with it by the weekend. And then I just like spent like the day prior to the audition just making sure I had it memorized and like had the
Hmm.
beats. Clearly didn't work in my favor. But again, I think there were several factors behind that.
Yeah,
Um,
I was going to say, because you know what I realized with myself, traffic and parking is a huge thing. That if something goes off for me, I don't enter the space in the energy that like helps me put my best foot forward. And like
exactly.
sometimes it's really difficult for me, especially in the city, because I'm already stressed out driving to the city. I'm already stressed out trying to figure
Hmm.
out where I'm going to park, how much it's going to cost. I've
Hmm.
started like sometimes with either auditions or like I have a couple rehearsals in the city. I'm like, I need to shoot to get there an hour early. And you know what ends up happening is that'll be the goal, and I'll leave with enough time to get there an hour early. But for whatever reason, I don't end up parked and walking into the place until like 20 minutes before I'm supposed to be there because there was an accident or because like there was whatever was going on. And so I'm like, okay,
Hmm.
that still gives me like a moment to center myself because I like I get really frazzled with parking and
Yes.
just like so I'm like, I have to shoot to get there an hour early. So that leaves me time to figure out the parking and drive around the building 20 times trying to figure out like where the entrance is. And then I
Hmm.
walk in and I'm just, hey,
And you
how's
just
it
like have
going?
that time to center yourself. Yeah. Yeah, and that's what I had really like wanted to, because the like I said, the audition was 5:40. And
Yeah.
honestly, technically, I was scheduled to work until 6. I wasn't supposed to, but I told my supervisor, I was like, listen, I'm leaving an hour early, and he's fine with it. So I was
Hmm.
going to leave at 5, and then I had a
Hmm.
customer come with this huge order at
I hate this.
4:59. And
Nope.
I was like, okay, well, I'm not gonna like screw my one coworker over because it was literally just this old man by himself for the rest of the night. So I stayed and I knocked it out. My other coworker, who was actually supposed to leave earlier, had stayed and helped
Hmm.
me help him. So
Hmm.
like it just kind of like became this domino effect. So like that right there just got me in the wrong mindset because I'm like,
Yeah.
I have this huge order at the worst
Hmm.
possible time, and I don't want to take it out on the customer because he was perfectly nice, like a really nice, decent guy. And in customer service, you want to make sure you treat nice people well because not everybody is
Yeah.
nice. So
No.
I'm like, okay, I don't want to take it on this guy, but I have to do this order, and it's the worst time. Again, I had all these thoughts going in my mind, and I'm trying to run out of the building because I wanted to get there early because I knew parking was going to be a bitch, and sure enough, parking was a bitch. I think I drove around for like maybe 10 minutes looking for parking, and then luckily a parking spot opened up right in front of the door that I was to the building that I was entering. And I was able to swoop in there and like get inside. And reality is always, I mean, in hindsight's always 2020. I didn't have to rush. I didn't actually end up going into audition until after 6 o'clock. I could have like
Hmm.
taken my time, like had I just taken a
Hmm.
moment to sit there and breathe and let my nerves
Hmm.
settle, I
Hmm.
would have been fine. But all of that just culminated into me like feeling horrible going into this audition, bombing the
Hmm.
said audition, knowing I
Hmm.
wasn't going to get the part by the end of the
Hmm.
audition. And on top of just like the regular nerves that you have when you're doing an audition or standing up there doing something in front of someone, it just didn't work.
That's so funny. It reminds me of the one time I went to audition in Baltimore, well, one of the
Mm-hmm.
times. And so I had gotten in the habit of getting there stupid early because that was when I was leaving from Delaware. So it was a 2 hour drive.
Right.
And I had been there enough that I knew there was a parking garage. I knew where the parking garage was. And I knew that it was only a block away from where I need to audition. But I was like, I'm going to get there really early so that I can just sit in the lobby and just like, because I knew there was a lot of audition slots. And so I'm like, I'll just sit in the lobby. Like, I got there maybe like an hour and a half early.
Mm-hmm.
I walked to the audition place though, like half an hour early. Like, I sat in my car for a bit, and all that good stuff. So I get there and
Mm-hmm.
I sign in. And I'm just sitting there. I'm like, okay, like I have time to breathe. I have time to whatever, do whatever I need to do. And then the lady's like, yeah, well, so and so is late. So do you want to just take their slot and go now? And like they'll come in after you. And I was like, yeah, yeah. Which that threw me off.
I was gonna say, whole time your body's like, no, no.
Because I'm thinking I'm gonna have time to center myself. And that I think that was the audition where I sang happy birthday and it didn't go well.
Okay. So they threw you off twice because I think it is, wait, is that the one that you knew you had to sing for, or you weren't sure if you were going
No,
to sing for it? Okay, no. So
it
they threw you off
wasn't a
twice.
musical.
Yeah.
It wasn't a musical, but they like I've been to a couple of their productions and they like the cast, they usually like sing a song or something that's relevant to the material or the time period, either before or after the show. So it's like a thing. It's like
Mhm.
their thing, right? But it was a straight play. And I can't remember if I was just auditioning for the season, which that means like you want to be a member. Is that what it's called? A member of the theater for that season?
Oh,
Which,
okay. Like a part of the company, like the
yeah, a
theater
part of the
company.
company. Yeah, because they'll do the thing where they have the open calls every year. And so it was either that or I was auditioning for the specific play. I think it was an open call for the season though. So
Mhm.
I'm like, yeah, I got a monologue from one of the plays I know they're doing because they publish it ahead of time. And I'll do that. Like, but they had us do it on the stage and I had never been on that stage. So it was already like, oh my gosh, oh my gosh. And then I get
Yeah.
up there, I do the monologue, a couple redirects, and then they were like, yeah, so can you sing? And I was like, no.
I would like to remind the class this was not a musical. It was not
It,
advertised as a
no,
musical. Nowhere was it mentioned that there would be singing.
listen. And I'm pretty sure I said it like I could hold a note though. Like I could be an alto for play. Like And then they were like, well, let's try sing something. I was like, well, I don't know which, I mean, I want to say to all of my friends out there, like, I want to say that I should have been prepared at the very least to have at least a song, but I blanked because I'm not a voice
You didn't
person.
go
So
in there.
it's
Right.
not like, let's say someone were to ask me for another monologue, like I could do that because I already have a couple just from years of, doing it. But a
Yeah.
song, so they were like, well, sing happy birthday. I mean, I did it, but wow.
And it was done. And it was done.
I've never been so out of tune in my life. Oh my God.
All
Oh
the
my God.
songs. A happy birthday, I mean, if you have to sing something, I guess it'll do, but like they could have thrown you like literally any other song.
I was like, let me get the heck up out of here.
Yeah. So that makes me think though, like while you were saying, because you were on the stage, you it was an in-person audition, you were on stage and you
Hmm.
had to sing. So like you had a lot going on, and it was they threw it at you because you weren't necessarily prepared to go at the time that you went. So like your nerves when doing like are there any specific techniques when you're in situations that are like high strung like that, when your nerves do kind of start to ratchet up, like that you do to
Well,
to help?
yeah, I think I've developed because that was a couple years ago.
Mm-hmm.
And it's so funny because I just saw the open calls for their new season. It's going to be
Yeah,
next month, I think. I was like, I should do that just for shits
you
and giggles
should.
because I wouldn't, well, I was just about to say I wouldn't be like, let's say I got selected. I
Mm-hmm.
was gonna say I wouldn't be driving that far, but I would. I would. If I got offered a role with that company, I would drive 2 hours. 'Cause I'm about an hour 45 away. But
Yeah,
anyway,
that's not
so
bad
I feel
though.
like
Yeah,
I would do it. I drove an
yeah.
hour to Doylestown, so I would cry every night, but
It's
anyway.
doable.
It is doable. The nerve thing. I think that
Hmm.
I do because also to be fair to myself though, that was the very like there was a 6 month period where I was just auditioning for that same company over and over again with no really theater experience as an adult. I'd had some
Yeah,
time as a kid, but that was a while ago, and very few even on screen role. Like there was nothing on my resume at that point. I hadn't done the storyteller thing yet, so I wasn't even really comfortable enough to be big enough in front of people. So I think that some of those nerves came from a lack of even just experience in being in in-person auditions. So I think at
yeah,
the very least, knowing what to expect already eases me a little bit. And then I think just showing up and walking through the door, thinking to myself, they're gonna, like, as soon as I walk in, I'm auditioning, just prepping myself that way so that
yeah,
when I walk, necessarily me moment and I'm not relying on having that moment inside because who knows what could happen because so and so might start talking to you or like you may get pulled into an audition or like you may have to one time like I think they were down a volunteer and I was like, "Oh, like I'll hold the door." Like that's because you're still at the same time like you want to make a good impression on top of being a good person, but it's like
right.
so walking in already ready. Which sounds remedial, but because I rely on
No, it
my
makes a
moment.
difference. Yeah.
Yeah. So I'm like, I just need to make sure that I have my final moment with myself in the car. And I'm not
Hmm.
expecting another moment myself when I get into the space, that I'm just ready to go. And I mean, it's been fine, but I do think a lot of that was just a lack of not I hadn't been in auditions like that. So
Hmm.
it was almost frightening to fill up the space. And now I'm a little more comfortable with that. So
I was gonna say, like, so what's your experience now when you go with like, do you find like do you still lean heavily on that moment before, like having that moment before you walk into an audition space to kind of ground yourself and gather yourself?
yeah, I think I do it the whole car ride over. And
Hmm.
then If I'm able to have 10 minutes by myself in the parking lot or wherever I'm at, that's when I have that moment. And then when I
Mhm.
get out, now I'm in the zone. And if I'm in the zone for the next 3 hours, and so be it. Usually it's like a 10-minute fly and you're done. But sometimes those
Yeah.
cold read auditions last forever.
When they have you
But
just keep like going up and running and running and running. Yeah.
yeah, yeah, that's about it. I think I also have like I've gotten rejected from so many. It's like a
Mhm.
joke now. So
I mean, it
it's
is. It does kind of become a game of like it's like okay, on to the next. Like I don't know. Like
yeah,
it's
literally.
like okay, well, what
Yeah.
else is out
It's
there?
like, girl, I'm like, okay, after I leave that audition, I'm like, all right, so I wonder what else in the area is auditioning for
Hmm.
stuff. Like,
Hmm.
well, let's figure this out here.
Yeah, yeah, it's
Yeah.
funny because oh my God, what was I so completely unrelated to acting, but at my day job, I went to like we call them fireside chats and like usually it's like when some they'll pull in like maybe one of the executives or they're pulling an outside speaker just to chat about something usually career related. And I went to one that was about building mapping out your career plan. And something that the speaker said, his oh my God, what was his name? Calvin Purnell or something. He was really good, really solid guy, has a book out. And he said, when you get rejected from a job, give yourself a moment of space to grieve. Let yourself feel the grief, but don't linger on it.
Mhm.
Move on. Just just move on. But like give yourself that space and then just keep going. And I feel like as actors, we really have to lean into that because like it sucks not getting the job. It does. Like no one's gonna sit there and say that it doesn't or that it feels good, but let yourself be sad about it for like 5 minutes and then move on to the next one because there's always going to
Mhm.
be another job for you to apply to, for you to audition
Mhm.
for, and for you to hopefully get one day, you know? It's like there's
Yeah.
always going to be something.
Yeah. I'm like currently like thinking, how many more auditions can I be rejected from by the end of the year? Let's run that up because I'm kind of low.
It's yeah, the numbers are low. The numbers are bad. We got to get them up.
They're they're bad. I like have not been on. I don't think I've been on an audition in 2026 yet. Yeah,
Well,
I
no,
gotta
because you
get.
had to do the thing for the thing, the stage reading.
I didn't. I got pulled into that. I didn't
You did
audition for
get
that.
pulled into that. He did reach
Yeah,
out to you. Oh, wow. Oh, okay. Oh, so you do have to get those numbers up, girl.
I got it, girl. I got two. I got that audition scheduled for 2 weeks. I'm going to Baltimore. I'm just gonna.
Yeah. Why not?
I
Why not?
thought it's gonna suck,
If you
but
can, why not?
I think I am gonna. I need to because those spots fill up fast. So I need to go ahead and I'm gonna send them my resume now with things on it. Hey, Polly.
How exciting is that going to be though? No, it's like actually like really fun because it's going to be like you thought you saw
Yeah.
the last of me. Actually I've been working.
Yeah, actually, it's so funny though, because that like I've been rejected from that place so many times that it is now my goal to be offered a role in something.
Yeah. Yeah, it's like the
Before I
challenge
die.
becomes the competition.
Literally. Oh, that stage is so beautiful too. Like I can't even deal with it. It's yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
So, well, let's wrap that up. What's your performance of the week?
So I went to see I'm trying to decide because I watched a couple movies this week. I'll go with
Mhm.
the most recent. So I went to see Undertone last night, and it's a horror movie for those of you who are not in the know. It is about a podcast, and it's like a horror podcast, and it's like the skeptic versus the believer, and they'll listen to true stories and they talk about it. And in this movie, they get these files, and the files have like this demon that's attached to them. So the entire movie is essentially listening to these audio files and watching what happens to the main character happen. But a lot of it is over the phone, and there are only two characters that we see in the entire movie: the main character and her
Mm.
mother. So everyone else is um someone that she's speaking to like through like a phone call or a video chat or
Mhm.
something, whatever. And I say that to say my performance of the week comes from the doctor that she spoke to on the phone, whose face we never see. But I have a lot of thought. Or I shouldn't say I have a lot, but I have thoughts and opinions about this movie. One of those thoughts and opinions are the performances in it. I didn't love them. They weren't my favorite, but that doctor, he showed up and he showed out because her co-host, who again we could only hear over the microphone when they were recording the podcast, I wasn't in love with his acting. It sounded like they were on a phone call, and I get like when they were recording the podcast, like they were putting on the voice for the podcast. But even if they weren't recording the podcast, he still kind of had that same tone throughout his voice, like where it didn't sound like a conversation. Versus the
Mm-hmm.
doctor, who sounded
Mm-hmm.
so legitimately truthful that I said, "That's an
Mm-hmm.
actor. That is a
Mm-hmm.
Brian Fox actor if I've ever seen one." That man committed to, and mind you, it was only like two lines, two or three lines,
Mm-hmm.
but he committed so heavy to that role that it stood out to me as the best performance in that entire movie, which is a little insane to say, but you know.
That's interesting how powerful of what like a voice acting role can be. And
Mm-hmm.
you never see his face. That's insane. That's
Like you
insane
really have
that
to do a lot, yeah.
yes. Yes. Wow.
So that was
Okay.
mine. It was good. It was solid. I mean, the movie was fun. I think I give it like 3 stars, but it was fine.
Okay. Okay.
How about
Nice.
you? Any standout performances this week?
Yeah. So I was rewatching A Comedy of Errors
Mm.
uh production with Dame Judi Dench from I don't know what year it's from. I think I was watching it on YouTube. It's like my favorite my favorite version of this. It's on Shakespeare Network's YouTube page. And my favorite monologue of that whole play is when her character is kind of basically is like shit is weird. There's some weird shit going on. And it's a very fast pace and it's a comedic play, comedy of errors, but she's so like that monologue, it starts with may it please your grace, because she's talking to like the Duke, I think. And so she's basically explaining what happened, like, oh, this guy came here and this guy did this and he went this way and this, and it's very fast paced. I cannot say that whole monologue without running out of breath. And she just rips through it. It's insane. I love that monologue because of her. Because
Okay.
of,
And it's on YouTube?
yeah, it's a long play. And the monologue I'm talking about it's like towards the end. It's like Act Three. And it's from 19, let's see, 1977.
Oh.
So,
Oh, so when she was in
yeah,
her prime.
yes,
Comedy of Errors.
yeah, she's my
Okay.
absolute favorite.
Oh
She's
yeah,
on that
2 hours. That is a lock in.
monologue. Hmm. Yeah, but she ate that roll up, and I love her, and she's amazing.
Nice. I'm gonna have to watch it. Solid. Well,
So long,
guys,
place.
it's okay. I'll put it on. I like to I'll put it on in the background of like I don't do chores. I'm washing my hair tonight, so maybe I'll put it on while I'm washing my hair. Usually it's a process.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah. Well, that's it for
That,
now.
yeah, I guess so. Until next time. Every Thursday, you guys will see us. Our beautiful faces. Enjoy. All right, like, comment, subscribe, and we'll talk to you guys next week, I guess.
Oh my God.
Bye.